Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. So, today is going to be a little bit different of a live video. I'm basically just going to be telling you guys about an upcoming series that I'm going to be doing on my YouTube, which is going to be super, super cool. As you guys can probably tell from the title, it is going to be called Haylee's Lucidity School. So this is going to be a weekly talk show based around lucid dreaming and how to do it. And I actually had this talk show previously because I was with a network previously where I did this talk show. And I kind of moved into my own space and I wanted to kind of pursue that on my own. This is like a super chill show on YouTube. Like I just wanted to be super chill. I wanted to be really just nice. So that's what we're going to be doing. Hey, Passiano, how is it going? Hey, Sano, sorry. How are you? How is it going? Thanks for joining. But that's what's going to be happening weekly, guys. So, and the cool part is every week you'll be able to ask questions. So basically how it's going to go is like every week we're pretty much starting from the very beginning. How can we create a habit of lucid dreaming? How can we start lucid dreaming with the most success? That's what this is going to be based around. And so every single week, I'm going to have a poll on my YouTube, on my community tab. And basically, you will be able to ask questions related to the upcoming episodes. Say we do reality checks or something. I'll let you know what the next episode is going to be about. And then you'll be able to leave comments on that post about reality checks, and I'll be able to answer them in the video. So this is going to be so cool. That way you guys will have my weekly video that I already do. And then we're going to incorporate this weekly live show. And then I'm going to start eventually, pretty soon, I'm going to start doing weekly meditations as well to help you get lucid. So it's going to be really, really cool. I'm really going to start dedicating a lot of time into my YouTube channel because it's something that's important to me. Lucid dreaming is important to me. You guys are important to me, and helping other people experience this is important to me. So that is what is going to be happening. Oh, it's so good. I'm glad you're good. That's so good to hear. Happy Easter as well, everybody. I know that it is Easter today. We've obviously kind of forgot about most other things going on in the world, but I did want to give you guys not only that update, but I also wanted to give you guys some discounts for Easter because I don't feel like a lot of people are doing that, and I wanted to give you guys a chance to have some more lucidity in your life, if you will. So, hey Spencer, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining. So we will be having that weekly talk show on here, which is going to be super, super dope. So if you've been wanting to learn how to lucid dream, I am your guide to do that. I will be walking you step by step each episode and answering your questions at the end of each episode. So along with the new show that I'm going to be doing, I wanted to give you guys a couple discounts for what is going on lately. So let me just go get the post really quick because that'd be a lot easier to do. And I'm just going to post it in the comments. Let me see here. So we got 3 going on right now. Let me get this up. Okay. Let me try to separate these so it's not ridiculous for you guys. Oh, I can't. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to do them one at a time. I know this is pretty silly. Okay, here we go. So the discounts I have for you, the first one is the merch. So you can actually use code Easter for $5 off your order. It's really high quality stuff. Literally, I love the quality of the shirts on the merch shop. I actually have the Ask Me If I'm Dreaming shirt. It's a sweater actually, and it is so comfy. It is literally my favorite shirt that I own. So definitely check out the merch if you're interested. I just added 2 more shirts today as well, which are really, really cool. So check that out. Another thing you guys should know about is my lucid dreaming class is actually 60% off. In 3 days, my class is going to completely disappear. Enrollments are closing, and which means you will not be able to join the Lucidity School or my lucid dreaming course after a few days. So if you're interested in that, definitely make sure to check that out. It is literally 60% off. This comes with a free one-on-one session with me, like 3 meditations and lots of lucid dreaming guides. Once you're in that class, you're invested in lucid dreaming and I'm now invested in you. Like, that is my guarantee to you, is you will be able to lucid dream in 30 days or less. So if you join my course, there's a 60% off code for you for Easter. And again, you have until the 15th to get into the class, so like 3 more days. So keep that in mind. The last one I wanted to let you guys know about is a manifestation class for money. Now, this is something that probably everyone wants more of, right? Literally. Oh God. Okay, wait. Okay, there's not enough space. Okay, I got this. Okay, barely made it. Use code MANIFEST to get 50% off of my full money manifestation mastery class. Oh, say that 5 times. The cool thing about that is it's only $30 originally. So since it's 50% off, you're paying $15 for the money manifestation class. So it is definitely worth it. This coupon code specifically for this one expires in 2 days. So you're literally paying $15 for that whole class, and it teaches you how to manifest more money when you're awake and in the lucid dream state as well, which is super, super cool. Imagine if we could manifest not only when we're awake, but also do that when we're sleeping. Like, we might as well, right? We're sleeping anyways. We might as well do something with it as well. So those are the 3 discounts I do have for you. Corey, the Lucid Dreamer, hello, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining. So definitely make sure to check out those discounts if you guys are interested. Again, that's for my merch, my 40-part Lucid Dreaming course, and my manifestation money class. Do you think dream journals help lucidity? I just started one because I have crazy dreams. Oh, yes, they do, Spencer. Absolutely. That is probably the most important part about the lucid dreaming practice. Not really arguable, because if we're not keeping track of our dreams, number one, we're not going to build up really strong dream recall, and we just won't be able to have enough awareness to actually get lucid. So yes, a dream journal is necessary, like literally necessary. I would recommend everyone use their dream journal every single freaking day. Like, as soon as you get up, before you even touch your feet on the ground, just ask yourself if you remembered anything. If you remember getting up in the middle of the night, if you remember any colors or like weird images. Like, it doesn't just have to be dreams. You can write down anything that you remember from sleep, because that is actually helping you build up the memory so you can actually remember your dreams. It's kind of funny that way. Like, you can still use your dream journal without remembering dreams. You just have to write down anything you remember from sleep. If you woke up in the middle of the night, went to go to the bathroom, tossed and turned, or anything like that. And if you don't remember anything at all, just simply write, I didn't remember anything tonight. So as you can see, the most important part is to just write something in your dream journal. So definitely make sure to do that every single day. And you'll get to the point where you can remember like 8 dreams a night. Like, on average, I probably remember like 5 to 6. It does differ every single night, but you will build up really strong recall. So I definitely recommend doing that. I'm to the point where I have almost a library of dream journals because I've written my dreams down almost my whole life. Like, so I have literally a library, dated for each year throughout almost my whole life. So it literally is like a library. And sometimes I'll go back to like my first dream journal and just read through it. And it's really interesting. Like, it's so weird how consciousness progresses. Like, your content of your dreams will change the more your consciousness expands or changes. It's pretty interesting. I have a problem with astral projecting, and I need you to at least make a video. Please know how to reach the sleep paralysis state, because I either just fall asleep or just lie there and awake. Anton, what you would be happy to know is I actually have an entire playlist for sleep paralysis. So I got there. I'm just gonna read you the titles of the videos I have on sleep paralysis just to let you know, like, I got you. Like, I've definitely covered this a lot because it is a pretty big issue. So let's talk about all the sleep paralysis videos I have, okay? I'm just gonna read them. Number 1, how to easily induce sleep paralysis. How to easily induce sleep paralysis part 2, Q&A. Sleep paralysis, a scientific explanation, how to lucid dream astral project. how to lucid dream from sleep paralysis, how to astral project from sleep paralysis, why you should enjoy sleep paralysis, how to stop sleep paralysis, overcoming the sleep paralysis nightmare, what it is and what to do, from sleep paralysis to an out-of-body experience. So I have literally made a video on every topic regarding sleep paralysis so far. I'm going to keep making them, but this is a very big topic, and so I wanted to make a video for all that. So here you go. There's my playlist. Definitely check it out. You just watch all of those and it will literally help you so much, because I get so many questions about sleep paralysis, and so I wanted to make something that would actually help. You know what I'm saying? And nothing happens and I get bored because I just sit there. The thing probably, Anton, is you're probably not in REM. A lot of people do that. They're like, oh, sleep paralysis isn't working. Like, I'm not able to induce it. I'm just laying there for hours. And so there's a couple things that are going wrong. You're either like moving, you're either thinking too much and you're keeping your brain stimulated, or you're just not in the right stage of sleep. You do need to be in REM sleep in order to experience a conscious sleep paralysis experience. And once you're there, you can use that to anchor a lucid dream or an out-of-body experience. But I definitely recommend learning your REM stages. You will learn those in the videos as well, my sleep paralysis videos. I literally tried to cover everything for you guys as far as those sleep paralysis videos. So definitely check that out. I did leave the link there, and I really think that that would help. And then feel free to ask any other questions as well. I know it's like, it takes a second to kind of figure out how your specific REM stages work and how to induce sleep paralysis. Everyone's slightly different, but there is a science to it, so it makes it a little bit easier, if that makes sense. Sorry, I was gonna read your message, Paisano, but you deleted it before I could read it. But yeah, let me know when you check out those videos, Anton, if they help you. But those I feel like would definitely help you. Definitely. Because I literally tried to answer anything that I could. Absolutely. And feel free again to ask any questions. For anyone who is interested, I do have a Facebook group called Haylee Lynn's Lucid Dream Team. So if you're interested in joining a community of other lucid dreamers and want to ask questions, share your experiences, anything like that, definitely go over to Haylee Lynn's Lucid Dream Team. I can even post it in the comments as well. And then my business page as well, I have a lot of information on it. You can just type in the Lucid Mystic on Facebook and it should pull up. But here is the Lucid Dream Team. Just send a request and I will add you to the group. Will my dream recall go down if I only dream drill in the mornings and not in the middle of the night? So it won't go down, but you'll definitely miss out on some opportunities to build your recall. So I know how it is. Like, you have a dream in the middle of the night, you wake up, and you just do not want to write it down, right? I totally get that. There's a couple ways around that. You can just try to keep thinking about your dream as you go to sleep, and sometime you'll remember a little bit when you wake up. Or you can write a keyword. Say that I dreamt of actually, I do have a dream that was kind of weird. A while ago, I dreamt that I was on this huge cruise ship in Mexico, and I was trying to run away from these pirates or something. So say that I had that in the middle of the night. I would probably write cruise Mexico pirates or something on a piece of paper. That way, I can kind of piece together the dream in my head and be like, oh, okay, I remember it now. So if you can, I would definitely recommend writing down at least a couple keywords. That way, when you wake up and you see those few words, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember the dream, if that makes sense. Hi, Dylan, how's it going? What guided meditations or techniques help you astral project or lucid dream? So there are definitely a few. We've talked about a lot of techniques here. Do you know which one you're focusing on? Because the astral projection and the lucid dream state are different, so you kind of induce them differently. They do have a lot of similarities, but I actually have a meditation that I created. It's a binaural beats lucid dreaming out-of-body experience meditation, and every person that has tried it has said they've either gotten to the vibrational stage, they've had an out-of-body experience, or had a lucid dream. And so I thought it was kind of interesting, and so I tried it, and I actually use that almost only to practice my techniques and stuff when I do listen to music or a meditation or something like that. So if you're interested, definitely email me and I can send that to you. For some reason, when I'm in a lucid dream and I go outside, my real life ears itch and wake me up. That's interesting. I've actually never heard of that. When you go out excited. Do you have any allergies or anything? Because in the lucid dream, your brain doesn't know that you're dreaming. It thinks you're awake. So maybe when you go outside in the lucid dream, your brain thinks it's actually happening and induces the symptoms to like allergies or something. If you don't have allergies, I'm not sure, but that's what would make sense to me, and that'd be actually pretty interesting. The problem is when I'm in the middle of sleep paralysis episode and I get excited and I don't know what to do, so I fall back asleep or I wake up. All you need to do through sleep paralysis is make sure that you hold completely still, you don't tell your body you're awake, and you focus on keeping your mind conscious. You don't want to wake up too much, because then your brain's too stimulated and you get out of the experience. But we don't want to just be so calm and try to like clear your mind, because then you'll just fall asleep. So you have to learn to balance on half awake, half asleep. Have you ever slept in a position that you normally don't sleep in, and like you're asleep but you're conscious, like you're in a very light sleep, so you're like able to think and stuff, but you're pretty much like sleeping. You're hovering on like half awake, half asleep. It's like a very light stage of sleep. That's the point that you want to get to. So if you're wanting to induce sleep paralysis, don't lay in a position that you normally sleep in. Like for me, I cannot sleep on my back for the life of me. So that's what I do for my technique. I lay on my back because I know I'm not going to get so relaxed that I just fall asleep. I'll be able to keep like a tiny bit of awareness. I'll be able to relax, but I won't completely lose consciousness. And so when I feel the sleep paralysis coming on, I can feel it because I'm not asleep. I have this slight sliver of awareness, and it kind of awakens my consciousness, and I'm able to actually use that to anchor an out-of-body experience or a lucid dream. Sometimes in my dreams, I feel like all my limbs don't want to work and my body just wants to collapse, and I feel like kind of a weed high. Do you know what this is? That almost sounds like, well, there's two things. That could be dual body awareness, but that could also be just a lack of awareness as well. Dual body awareness is where you can feel your physical body at the same time as dreaming. So say I'm walking around in my dream. We know that when we're in the dream, we have sleep paralysis, right? Because our body's paralyzed, so we don't act out our dreams. But in dual body awareness, I'll be walking around the dream, but I can also feel my body vibrating. So that's super interesting. So that might be what's happening. But also it might be a low level of awareness where the dream just feels foggy, hazy, and you don't have a lot of control. Basically how to combat this is to start doing that in waking life. Start doing reality checks more often in waking life. Start becoming more aware and mindful and conscious and alert and critical of your environment. Like you really want to pay attention as much as you can, because that habit's going to carry over into your lucid dreams, and you're going to have a lot more focus, a lot more clarity. Things are going to be crisp, clear, vivid, and you'll be able to actually make your lucid dreams last longer because you've learned how to build up that awareness initially. So anything that you're wanting to improve on your lucid dreams, start doing that in waking life. So for people that don't even get lucid, well, what would you change in your dreams? You probably want to be more aware to realize you're dreaming, right? Then start being more aware in waking life, because these habits we have in waking life, they carry over into the lucid dream. That's why reality checks work, because we get in the habit of asking ourselves if we're dreaming and looking at our environment, and all of a sudden that becomes a habit. And so we start doing that in our dreams and asking ourselves questions, looking around our environment, and we're able to realize we're dreaming. So any habit that you want to build in your dream, you want to start building in waking life first, if that makes sense. Oh, and crazy thing, last night I had a lucid dream randomly. I just thought I was astral projecting because I went to sleep with the intention of doing it, and I don't think it was astral. Yeah, like you'll definitely know. Sometimes it's kind of hard to tell because sometimes I'll be in an out-of-body experience, but then I'll switch to a lucid dream, and I'll like go back and forth. But you'll definitely know, because an out-of-body experience, like you feel awake. Like in a lucid dream, yes, you feel awake, but you know that you're dreaming. In an out-of-body experience, you're not sure if you're awake or in an out-of-body experience. It doesn't feel like a dream. It feels a lot more real than a dream. So it's kind of easy to decipher when you think of it like that. But I definitely just recommend practicing both, because once you've had a couple out-of-body experiences and a couple lucid dreams under your belt, you're really like, oh, okay, I can see little differences between these states. And reality checks actually work in the out-of-body experience too, because it's not going to react the same way it does in a lucid dream. So that will also help you. If you get into an out-of-body experience and you're not sure if you're lucid dreaming, just do a reality check and just observe the result. I'm just going to tell you that. I don't want to spoil anything, but it will definitely be a different result than you get in a lucid dream. But try that out. Try that out and let me know what happens. Okay, Bob, so if you're trying to do... Oh, this is my puppy. I don't think you can see him. So if you're trying to have an out-of-body experience, I do have a playlist on there. One of my favorite methods is called the rollout method. You really will want to learn how to induce sleep paralysis first. Like I said, I do have a playlist for that. For anyone who is interested in the playlist, let me get that for you. This little cute guy, I don't know if you could see him. Well, sweet. Let's see, Juno. Let's see, mister. Look at Juno! Good boy. Okay, great. So let me get that playlist. So anyone who is interested in learning out-of-body experiences or lucid dreams, check out this playlist because that will literally tell you how to master sleep paralysis. So you can use that for a lucid dream or out-of-body experience literally anytime. Definitely recommend doing that. So Daniel Love and I are actually friends. I am friends with a lot of people in the lucid dreaming community. We actually have a group where we go live in our group together, like a Zoom meeting, and we all just talk and chat. So Daniel's pretty awesome. I am not familiar with everyone's work as far as lucid dreaming, but Ian Wilson, if you guys know, Reese Jones, him and I are friends. We talk all the time. How to Lucid, he's an acquaintance. Tifero, Giz Edwards, like, these are amazing people, and we all have different practices as far as lucid dreaming. But I think his work's pretty cool, and I know that he's doing like a lucid lockdown thing, which is pretty cool. But honestly, I've talked to Daniel, and we've shared ideas about books and stuff, but I haven't like studied his work. Yeah, I'm friends with How to Lucid. I actually have his phone number. We text sometimes. He's actually going to come down to the US, actually. So we've just been talking about that. We share business ideas sometime and all of that. He's been really busy lately and traveling, so I don't really talk to him a lot. But yeah, we exchange texts sometimes, and yeah, so it's pretty cool. Oh my gosh, hi Juno. Hey. I actually helped him create some of his blog posts on his website because we couldn't figure it out, and so I helped him put some of his blogs on there, which is pretty cool. Juno, what are you doing, Chum? What are you doing? All right, one sec. Let me go put my dog outside. He really wants to go. All right. Yeah, Dylan. Let's see. I think it's been like 4 or 5 years since I met Stefan. I don't know. I'll have to go look at our like texting history or something to find out the date, but somewhere around there. I'm not exactly sure the amount of time. But yeah, it's really cool to have people that are also kind of creating lucid dreaming content, you know, and just kind of share all that. It's pretty interesting. But yeah. Today is International Lucid Dreaming Day. Here I am, going live, getting you guys some lucid dreaming content. But the cool thing is, the main reason I went live today was to tell you guys about the Haylee's Lucidity School that's going to be happening. So I'm going to have to figure out the exact day. I either want it to be on Wednesday or a Sunday. Not sure. I'll have to figure that out. But yeah, explore lucid dreaming. If there's anyone who is looking for lucid dreaming content, please try to stay away from the channel Explore Lucid Dreaming or Exploring Lucid Dreaming or something like that. To cut it short, he's basically like this 17 or 18-year-old kid that lives in Canada. He doesn't even lucid dream. You can kind of tell by his content. It's very like mundane and surface level. Like, you could tell this is stuff that you could find anywhere on the internet. But basically, if you go through his links and stuff, he leads you to phishing websites and scams you, basically. And so for anyone who has told me to check out Exploring Lucid Dreaming, trust me, I do know about this person. All of us know about this person in the lucid dreaming community, and it's not a channel you really want to support. Also, if you kind of look at his subscribers and all his views, he got like a few million views within the first couple months on his channel, which tells you that it's fake bots and fake views and all of that stuff. So yeah, that's the one lucid dreaming channel that I don't really support. Obviously, you guys can do whatever you want, do whatever resonates with you. But yeah, exploring lucid dreaming is definitely a hot topic in the community, Paisano. But yeah. there's lots of other great content out there that will actually help you get deeper. You know, we all know about the main little things in lucid dreaming, but how do we actually use it? How do we dive deeper? That's what I love focusing on. How does it affect our brain and our life and our functioning and our psychology? Like, you know, that's important, at least to me. So that's kind of what I focus on. I'm thinking about going to bed at 10 and setting an alarm to wake me up at 11:30. Stay up for 10 minutes and go back to sleep. Yeah, Corey, definitely try that. Definitely try to wake up in your REM stage. So I'm sure you know this, but 4.5 hours, 6 hours, 8.5 hours, or 10 hours after sleep, it's in 90-minute increments. So anyone who's wanting to try to do a lucid dream technique, just try to do that. Try to time it, you know, your REM. Let's say you wanted to wake up after 6 hours of sleep to aim for that REM period. If it takes you 30 minutes to fall asleep, you want to set your alarm for 6 hours, 30 minutes, because it's only counting pure sleep. So if it takes you a little bit of time to fall asleep, make sure to count that in your alarm. That way you can actually get lucid during your REM stage. But yeah, definitely try that, Corey. Let us know what happens. Like, I'm really interested. Now is the time, ladies and gentlemen, to really start practicing lucid dreaming. It's a great time. Because a lot of people are home a lot more. So it'd be definitely something you should check out. The problem is when I close my eyes, suddenly start twitching and opening, you want to wear a mask. So when do you try this? Like, do you try this right before bed? Do you already have sleep under your belt, John? Like, when do you practice the technique and when do your eyes start twitching? Because I notice if you're not tired enough or your body's not worn out enough or you're thinking of too many things, like, it kind of distracts us and can cause like twitches and our brain to be too stimulated, and it's hard to get into this state, if that makes sense. When I'm in sleep paralysis, I hear doors open, I feel my bed vibrating. So it's interesting that you say that, Gina. So basically what's happening when you hear doors open, like, I'll hear doors open, I'll hear footsteps, I'll hear voices. Basically what's happening is I'm tuning out of my physical body and I am now in my energy body, essentially. And so when you're in this state, you're going to pick up on non-physical sensations and noises. Part of this is because you're half dreaming, half awake, so you're going to experience some auditory and visual hallucinations because your brain is half dreaming, but you're half awake, so you see the dreaming images in your environment, which is why people tend to get really scared of sleep paralysis, because they're like, no, I saw the shadow person in my room, or someone is at my bed. Yes, it's because you're seeing your dream content, but it's taking place around you because you have that consciousness at the same time. So the vibrating is not really an illusion. That is you becoming conscious of the separation from your dense physical body to your energy body. But as far as like some of the illusions and hallucinations you'll see, a lot of that is dreaming content. And the reason why I say a lot of that is because some of that does actually exist outside of out of this 3D plane. You know, we do live in a multidimensional world, and so we experience that. So we really have to take what we experience, though, kind of lightly, because a lot of it can be dream content. But the more you get familiar with it, you'll be able to decipher certain experiences from different experiences, if that makes sense. But just know that there's literally nothing to fear at all. And for anyone who is having a hard time getting over the fear, I would definitely recommend just checking out my sleep paralysis playlist that I posted in there, because I do talk about how to overcome the sleep paralysis nightmare-ish experience and how to actually enjoy sleep paralysis. Because if you can learn to enjoy it, you'll have a lot of crazy experiences. I actually believe that dream characters can come up with ideas for role plays. Absolutely, because if you think about it, like, yes, dream characters are part of our mind, but literally, our mind, our conscious mind, is only 5% of our brain. So I believe that we can get information outside of ourselves from dream, but also a lot of that is already inside of us, you know, because our life is controlled by our subconscious mind, but we aren't aware of our subconscious thoughts or our untapped potential or this knowledge. We only use 5% of that consciously. So when you go into the dream, you can really get a ton of information from dream characters or your subconscious or anything like that. And it could be information you already had, but it could be information outside of yourself as well. There's something in lucid dreaming called the 1%, which means 99% of what you experience in the lucid dream is you and your own psyche, and there's 1% that you'll experience that's outside of yourself. So I do believe that the lucid dream state has so much knowledge and so much information that we could use in our waking lives, which is why I tell you guys to just explore and ask questions in your dreams, because you can literally blow your own mind. Like, it's crazy. Each of in your dreams can probably give you the ideas you need. Yeah, absolutely. I try and do it right as I go to sleep. I know it's not working, but I just fall asleep when I do wake back up bed. Yep, that's your issue right there, is because you're just you're not in REM sleep and you haven't got any previous sleep, and so your body's just going to think it's time for bed. What I'd recommend doing, John, is I would recommend waking up an hour before you normally wake up. That way you're a little bit tired, but you've gotten almost a full night's of sleep. So wake up an hour or two before you normally wake up. Stay up for about 10 minutes and then try this technique on your back. Wear a sleeping mask, completely relax. Don't let your arms or your legs touch. Completely tune out, relax, and try to not feel your body. That's how relaxed you want to be. It's almost like one of those float tanks, you know, those sensory deprivation tanks where you're floating in some warm salt water in those spas. That's what you want to create in your mind. You want to be so relaxed and tune out that you feel like you're floating, that you can't feel your body. And that's how we have out-of-body experiences, because we've disassociated with our physical body so strongly that our brain starts to assume that we're actually away from our physical body. We're not a part of our physical body. And so it induces that experience. So try it after 1 to 2 hours before you normally wake up, and you will have a lot more success that way. Yeah, you can make a dream feel like that long. I've had a dream where I felt like I was in there for a couple weeks. It's weird how it works. Obviously, you're not in the dream for a couple weeks, but the dream has a way of shifting time around. Obviously, you're not going to remember every single bit of that whole month that you're in the dream, but it's almost like a movie, right? Watching a movie insinuates that a lot of time has passed, but really it's only been like an hour or two of your time. So the lucid dream is kind of the same way. It has a way of insinuating that this amount of time has passed based off how it shows you it, but you know, it was only a limited time, maybe like an hour or so. So it's kind of the same thing, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's crazy. I've definitely felt like I've been in a dream for a really long time. That's why some people say that they feel like they're stuck in a lucid dream, which cannot happen, so don't worry. But yeah, it does feels like a long time sometimes. Yeah, Furious. I actually just had a lucid dream this morning. And then I woke up from it, and then I tried to have an out-of-body experience, and then I got the vibrations and I was focusing on leaving my body, and then I went back into the same dream. So yeah, and I'm trying a couple different techniques as well, because I wanted to start, I wouldn't say like a full series on this channel, but maybe just like videos of me like doing experiments, like finding new questions or new information from the lucid dream, finding new techniques to tell you guys about that I haven't heard of before, like really just experimenting with it overall, and then like reporting back to you guys, because I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, I get lucid maybe like 3 to 4 times a week sometimes. Like definitely there's some times where I don't even lucid dream the whole week. Like that's like that for everyone. So if you have like a few days to a week, maybe even 2 weeks that you don't lucid dream, don't feel like anything's wrong with you, because that happens to me too. Like it definitely is just like situational and really depends on the circumstances. Like what you eat has to do with it, what you're thinking about throughout the day, what time you go to bed, what time you wake up, like all of that can affect your dreams. So just look at all of that and just ask yourself, what could I be doing that's like detrimental to my lucid dream practice? Even like eating a heavy meal before bed could cause you to not remember any dreams, because your energy is so focused on digesting the food that it's really hard to create dreams at the same time for your brain. So as you can see, there's just like little things that could affect your dreaming practice overall. I get to the point where I can feel my body at all, kind of like the float tank, and then I feel like a rush go over my body and then my eyes twitch, but I'll try and wake up for an hour. So also, John, what I'd recommend doing, I have that too, don't worry. Sometimes I deal with that, but one way that I kind of combat that was practicing in meditation, but also the main thing was when I have my eyes closed, I don't see it as like a black wall. I see it as like a forest. So you don't want to stare at your eyes, you want to stare through, kind of like you're looking at a forest. You want to see depth, because that helps you create the scene a lot easier. It's going to be really hard for your brain to create a really in-depth, like powerful scene if you're just like focusing on the black wall and that's all you'll let your vision see. So you kind of have to learn to like see the depth inside your vision and like through your closed eyes, if that makes sense. And that helps me a lot. But yeah, don't worry, you're not the only one. I dealt with that for a while too, and right before I'd get the sleep paralysis vibrations, my like leg would like twitch super hard and I'd wake out of it. So trust me, you're not the only one. One other thing that it could be, and I promise this is the last thing, is that it could be the rollover signal. That's basically your body checking if you're asleep. So it will send you itches and urges to roll over and to move and like anything it can. And basically if we move or itch, we basically told our body, yeah, I'm awake, don't put me in sleep paralysis. And the body's like, all right, cool. But when you get these, you have to try to ignore them. Because if your body's like, hey, are you awake or asleep? And it's like giving you urges to move, itches, it will obviously know you're awake if you respond, right? But what's the way to tell your body you're asleep? To not respond, to not move, to not do anything. And it's hard. Like, it will take some practice. But when you get those urges to move, itch, roll over, all of that, try to hold still as best as you can. And then after like 5 minutes, 5 to like 7 minutes are going to pass. And then they're going to go away. And then all of a sudden, you're going to get the vibrations. Because the body's like, okay, they're asleep. If they were awake, they would have responded. So I'm going to induce sleep paralysis now. It's like kind of a little game you have to play is with the sleep state. But that should help a little bit as well. I was wanting to make just a video itself on the rollover signal. I might have one. I'm not sure. But I know that a lot of people have questions about that because it's like, I'm getting to the state, like, it's going good, and then all of a sudden I have the fucking urge to, like, move, like, I can't hold still, like, it's really uncomfortable, and that is the rollover signal. So if anyone's ever experienced that, that's probably what it is. One time I had an itch, I ignored it, and found out I got bit by a spider. Well, apparently that happens every night, and who knows? It could have not been the rollover signal, who knows? But if you're wanting to practice lucid dreaming and out-of-body experiences, practice not moving. You can also do this in meditation. Like if you ever have like an itch during meditation or like an urge to move, just try to like tune it out and hold still and just like relax. And that way you're training yourself to observe what's happening, but to not act on what's happening, if that makes sense. Like you can stay a little bit more relaxed by practicing this during the day. Yeah, Dylan, it really is. But what's interesting is like you're gonna get to a point where you're able to remember almost the whole fucking dream, like from start to finish. Like sometimes it's like that. Like I will remember, and sometimes it sucks because I'm like, I remember so much of my dream. And obviously I don't want to like cut pieces out, and so I spend like an hour and a half writing it down in my journal. So you don't have to do that, guys. I just like to be thorough with my dreams because I never know what I'm going to need later. But you will get to the point eventually where you will be able to remember conversations. But yeah, it is easier just to remember the whole gist of the dream. But that's kind of like real life, right? Like if you go to someone's house and like have a party or hang out and someone asks you later, oh, how was the party? You're going to remember the basic situation of what happened, but you're not going to be able to tell them like the specific conversations you had with the, so it's just kind of like waking life in that sense. How can I stabilize my lucid dream and make it vivid like reality? So as soon as you get in the lucid dream, a lot of people make this mistake. They get lucid, they're like, oh my god, I'm lucid dreaming, I finally did it, and they wake up because they got way too excited. They basically scared themselves out of the experience. So as soon as you get lucid, you want to completely just like chill, stay calm. And you can practice this during meditation. Trust me, I got excited the first times too, but now I just get lucid, I'm like, oh cool, and I don't even think about it. I just go do what I plan to do. So you're going to really want to stay like calm and relaxed as soon as you get lucid. And then you're going to want to stabilize the dream by interacting with the dream environment. So don't run. Don't get up and fly. Don't start punching people. Like just chill where you are. And what you're going to want to do is just look at what's happening around you. You want to take in what you can see. And I'm really talking about like everything. Like what can you see? What colors can you see? Like how vivid does it look around you? What you can smell. Do you smell anything in the air around you? Like really taking the whole experience. And my favorite is touch, because that is like crazy in the lucid dream. You want to like rub your hands together, like touch the walls, touch different textures, and really pay attention to it in the lucid dream. And what that does is it grounds you into the environment, because you're not interacting with your physical emotions, with your physical body, like excitement or fear, but you're interacting with the dream itself. what's in the dream. You know, the walls, the grass, all of that is dream content. So interact with the dream content as vivid as you can, and it will really clear up the dream and it'll start to get really crisp, colorful, and vivid. It's really interesting how it works. Trust me, Bob, I know that it's hard. Trust me, like, that's something that is a huge topic in the lucid dream community because it's hard. A lot of people even have questions about, well, when I'm in sleep paralysis, can I swallow my saliva? Like, can I swallow my spit? That's another huge question. And so these things are a little bit tricky, but you can find a way around it. You can, because your body, like, if we always respond to our itch, you're basically telling your body that anytime you feel an itch, you have to respond. You're training yourself to do that. So what you need to do is untrain yourself to do that. So yes, it is going to be hard. It's going to take some work, but you need to unlearn that, right? Because I did that too. As soon as I felt an itch, I'd move, itch, like roll over. I could not hold still because that was a habit. And I trained myself. Anytime I felt an itch, I immediately had to respond. So you have to unlearn that. And so it does take time because you're rewiring your brain basically to act differently in a specific situation. So practice this in the meditation. Practice this when you get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and you go to lay back down. Like, any chance that you can practice this, do that, because it's just like any other skill. We have to practice it and we have to like train ourselves to act a different way if we want a different result, if that makes sense. So like by not looking into the black, kind of like imagine something instead. Exactly. Yeah, imagine something, like create the depth with your own vision, if that makes sense. And then that helps create the dream. Because if you're just looking at a black wall, it's going to be very hard for your mind to create a dream because what you see is just a black wall. But if you're imagining walking through the forest or going to the beach, you'll be able to see the depth, even if you're just physically seeing black. You have this vision of the beach or the forest, and so your eyes can start to see depth, and so your brain will already see what you're trying to perceive and create in your mind, and will help create that content into dreaming content. And if you stay conscious, you'll be able to consciously walk into that vision that you created. We can create our own dreams from scratch. It's literally like a painting. We have a blank canvas, and based on our imagination, our expectation, our intention, and our focus, that will create what goes on the canvas. So that will create our experience. So it really is, it is like that. It's really amazing. Can you also project from a lucid dream? Yes. And you can even just ask to go out of body, or you can say, I am out of body now, or I'm going to open my eyes and I'm going to be in sleep paralysis. Basically, you just make commands. Like, you expect for something to happen, and then you intend for something to happen, and you will it to happen, and then it seems to happen most of the time. The lucid dream is a thought responsive state. So whatever your thoughts are focused on, that's what you're going to experience. That's why when people start to kind of freak themselves out in their lucid dream, it starts to turn into a nightmare, because you created that. You painted that on the canvas. So just keep in mind, whatever you create in your mind is going to be what you tend to experience. I have heard tasting food in a dream is really awesome. I don't know if I've ever tasted anything in a dream. I would definitely recommend it, Kevin, because literally this is so everything that happens in the lucid dream is 7 to 9 times more powerful than in the waking state. Also keep in mind that anything that you've ever experienced in your life, every song, every word, everything you've seen, everything you've tasted, every experience, every feeling has been stored inside your subconscious mind. So when you go into the lucid dream, which is your subconscious's territory, all of that gets played out, but like hyper vivid. So this goes for food. Like, if you eat your favorite food in the lucid dream, it's actually going to taste way better than it's ever tasted in waking life. That is true. I have done this. It is true. Like, definitely try that out. I had a friend that, like, I think it was like lobster or something. She like fucking loved lobster, and she went to her lucid dream and she said it was like nothing like she's ever had. So as you can see, this would also work for cravings. Like, if you have a sweet tooth, play that out in the lucid dream, because it actually does affect your physical mind, like your waking brain. So what is sleep paralysis like? So I would definitely check out my videos on it, my playlist, because that's going to tell you a lot about it. But basically, you're going to feel like a buzzing. It's almost going to feel like your whole body's asleep. And I know that sounds dumb, but like, remember, like when you hit your elbow, your funny bone, or your foot's asleep, you know, that like tingling, your whole body's going to feel like that. And then you're going to hear really high pitched noises. It's going to feel really intense. It's going to feel like you're going to hear like rumbling in your ears, like you're right next to like a train track or something, or like a jet engine. Like, it doesn't hurt your ears, but it's like loud as hell. Like, it's an unworldly experience. You're gonna start to feel vibrations, like when your phone vibrates, your whole body feels like that. It feels like your bed shaking. You're like, you're going to start feeling like electricity run through your body. That's how it is for me. You're gonna start hearing noises, seeing colors. Like, you're going to know when you get into sleep paralysis. It's a state of sleep like you've never experienced, like especially consciously. It's wild. So, and everyone's experience is differently, so I can only tell you what I've experienced, what I've read, what I've experienced with my clients. But there is like a basic symptoms you would experience. But it's nothing scary. It can get freaky because you're like, holy shit, like I did not expect it to be this intense, but you're complete. I think it's cool. Like I have a really strong fascination about it, honestly. What do your personal dream characters do when you ask business questions? Just that. Like, it's amazing. You can ask any question you want. I ask my dream characters for like business ideas, for creative ideas, for painting. I make music, so I'll ask about what beats I can throw down, like what I can do. Like I use it for a lot of creative things because I have like a lot of creative things that I'm working on, like stories, poetry, painting, music, like I said, that kind of stuff. And just like how to make more money, how to do this in my business, how to learn this skill. Like, can you show me my biggest fear so I can overcome it? Can you show me my hidden potential? You can ask anything to the dream and it will tell you. And it's really, really cool. Obviously, you can't like inquire about like other people's lives and like what they're doing, but if it's anything that pertains to like you and your consciousness and your mind, or like anything about you, then you can find that out in the lucid dream. Is it possible to sense that you're dreaming? Yeah, with reality checks, that's how you train yourself. Like throughout when you're awake, you'll get in the habit of asking yourself, am I dreaming? How do I know that I'm not dreaming? Is anything weird about what I'm experiencing? Do I know how I got here? Where was I 10 minutes ago? Does everything look normal? Do I feel like I'm awake? Like you get in the habit of asking yourself these questions when you're awake, and then you start to do it in the dream. And so automatically in the dream, eventually you start to get really critical, like, am I dreaming? Because you're in the habit of asking yourself the questions. And then you're like, oh, this is a dream. I don't know where I am. This doesn't seem familiar. This is a dream. And so you can immediately like, that aha moment, like you can train yourself to turn that on. And now it's to the point I don't have to do reality checks. As soon as I go into a dream and I hear the word dream or lucid dream or anything, I automatically know I'm dreaming. And so you're going to get to that point as well. If I smoke weed in a dream, will I get high in the dream? So you won't be high when you wake up, but you will feel high in the dream. I remember I had like a lucid dream or something, and someone gave me like a tab of LSD, and I took it, and I actually felt like I was having a psychedelic experience, which was pretty cool. But obviously when I woke up, I wasn't having that experience. But pretty much whatever you do in the dream, you're going to experience what your mind expects it to be like. So of course, if you've like smoked weed before, it's going to feel like a pretty realistic high in the dream. But if you're doing something you've never experienced, your brain is just going to create what it thinks it would be like to experience that, if that makes sense. But you could totally do that in the dream. I even in my out-of-body experiences, I was sitting around a bonfire smoking a peace pipe with tons of like entities, and we couldn't speak, but we could like download each other's thoughts and feelings and stuff. So you could totally have those experiences in the lucid dream and out-of-body state. So it's similar to when your body falls asleep, like numb, and then the nails. It kind of feels like that, but slightly different. Like, it kind of feels like the pins and needles, but not so strong. It's more of just like a vibration, like light tingling. You'll definitely know as soon as you experience it. Like as soon as it's even coming on, like before I even get sleep paralysis, I know that I'm gonna get it, because I start to get this like high-pitched ringing in my ears, but I almost can't even hear it. It's like a very slight thing that I have to pay attention to. So this usually happens when I'm like kind of sleeping, but you're like thinking in your mind, like, after you've woken up, but you don't open your eyes yet, but you're thinking. That's the state that I get sleep paralysis in. And then all of a sudden I'll just feel it coming. I'm like, oh, I know what's going to happen. So you're just going to eventually be able to fill it out before it happens. What is the most lucid dreams you've had in one night? 9. And I remember that very vividly because I was waking up every REM period and then going back into a lucid dream, and I was dream chaining. So I was chaining multiple lucid dreams together, if that makes sense. So 9 is how far I've gotten so far as how many lucid dreams I've had in one night. How do I jolt out of a dream when I'm conscious of it? Do you mean like how do you get out of a dream? Like how do you get out of a lucid dream? Because if so, you would just tell yourself to wake up, pretty much. Like any demands you make in the dream usually happen. You should do some longer videos, podcasts on astral projection about techniques and experiences. Thank you, Ollie. I was actually planning to do that. Guys, actually, I was going to be making a podcast soon. So if that's something you guys are interested in, definitely let me know. But I was thinking about creating a podcast soon and doing live videos just based on specific techniques and stuff like that. But I don't know if you're here earlier, but we are doing Haylee's Lucidity School weekly, which is going to be a new lucid dreaming and out-of-body experience kind of talk show-ish thing. I know it's lucidity, but lucidity can also apply to out-of-body experience because we're becoming lucid, conscious of these altered states. And so we will be covering a lot of that in this as well. But definitely, guys, if there's anyone who is interested in the discounts, I'll throw them out one more time. 3 more days to get into my lucid dreaming workshop, like for a while. I don't know when I'm going to be opening it back again, but let me post this really quick. So guys, if you want to check out my merch for the next couple days, just use code Easter and you can get a discount on there. If you want to join my lucid dreaming class, that is 60% off. Enrollments are closing in 3 days, so make sure to check that out if you want. And then also, if you want to get my lucid dreaming manifesting money class for $15, that is the last link here as well. So let me post that. Literally 50% off. That makes it only 15 bucks. There you go, you guys. So definitely check those out, but we will be doing the podcast eventually, like you said, and this lucidity school kind of thing, which is pretty cool. Hey, can you get drunk in a dream as well? Yep, basically whatever you expect to experience, you will. So if you drink beer, obviously your body expects you to act like it would if you actually drink beer, and so, or out like whatever, like liquor, weed, like anything, you will experience what your brain expects it to be like. Do you personally have lucid dreams every night? I don't have lucid dreams every single night, but I do get lucid pretty often. It does depend on what I'm doing in the day, what time I go to bed, if I'm thinking about lucid dreaming a lot, if I intend to lucid dream, if I stay up too late, if I'm able to sleep well enough, if I like eat right before bed. Like there's a lot of variables when it comes to it, but I'd say I lucid dream probably 4 to 5 times a weekish, give or take, but it does change. Podcast, hell yeah, sounds great. Yep, well, we will be doing that, so keep that on the forefront of your mind. The closest I've gone to astral projection was I looked at a person video and it felt like my body vibrated like a phone. Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like, except for like a really prolonged amount of time. So it's pretty interesting, but I will definitely be making more videos about that as well, because I know lucid dreaming and out-of-body experiences, they are 2 separate things, but you can kind of use them together. Like a lot of the techniques can be used interchangeably. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, guys, well, I am going to get going. I do have to finish my mentorship tonight with my friend Jax. You guys have seen on my channel before. We're creating a mentorship program where he is going to be teaching you all about your astrology and how to explore that, and I'll be teaching how to explore that in the lucid dream. It's going to be something super dope. I can't give all of it away right now, but I got to finish that up today. It would be podcast on YouTube only, so the podcast, it would be on Spotify. It would actually be like a podcast. Maybe eventually I can turn Haylee's Lucidity School into a podcast. But yeah, we'll see where it goes. I definitely have a lot of projects I am working on, so we will definitely see. My dream characters are so mean. Yeah, some are, but keep in mind, your dream characters are an aspect of yourself. So ask them questions. Why are they mean? Like, because that is a part of you. So why is there a part of you that's rejecting a part of you? Why is there a part of you that's denying or being mean to another part of you? See it like that. Don't see it as a different person, because it's you. So when someone's like mean to me in my lucid dream, I'll go up to them and be like, hey, what do you represent? Oh, I represent your inner anger, your childhood. Like, it will tell you things about your own mind and why they're acting that way. So it's pretty interesting. My coolest dream was where I healed my stomach. I had gastritis, ulcers, esophagitis, all of that, really horrible digestive issues, and I actually used the placebo effect to get rid of the physical pain. I was able to get off all 8 medications, and I still haven't been on. It's been like 6 years. If you guys want to see the video of that, it's called How I Healed Myself Through Lucid Dreaming. So you can just find that on my YouTube channel, but I definitely recommend that because it's such a cool story and I love to talk about it, and I've actually been able to help other people experience the placebo effect as well in the lucid dream. So it's pretty dope. All right, guys, so I'm about to head off. Thank you guys so much for joining. I will be back Probably this upcoming week for another live. Like I'm wanting to make it a little bit more consistent. And then I will still be releasing my weekly video as well. So keep that in mind. Thank you guys so much for joining. I love you all so much. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys. Definitely be back for next week, and keep in mind that my next video will be out Saturday, and I did just release a video yesterday, so if you haven't checked that one out, make sure to check that out. Well, I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. And as always, I'm wishing you endless love and endless lucidity.